If you're offloading parasites, it's important to know some things. One of these things is called a Herxheimer's reaction, and in such, what that is a parasite die-off. And you will experience all sorts of things during that die-off. I like it better without the light. I was up all night with sweats, and random thoughts will come to you, random emotions. It's intense. If your parasite offload was not intense, you're not done. Losing the little ones, that is just the beginning. I cannot believe how much information was withheld from people. It upsets me. People are paid a lot of money to make sure that the American citizens are healthy. I know this is going on in other countries. For instance, smoking menthol cigarettes. I wondered what had gone on. So many people I knew quit smoking. They ended up with cancer and died. What was that? Parasites. Turns out cigarettes actually, parasites don't like them. It kills something about the smoke, the nicotine. Can't tell you how many times my son was like, "Mom, that's a very expensive incense stick you're holding there." Because I don't actually inhale that much. It was a habit at that point. And then what we don't realize is that we subconsciously do these things that other people look down upon. However, these things actually benefit us. And this is why, to each his own. What works for you, stop expecting it to work for other people. This is why I throw out so much information, is because what works for me, like I try random things. For parasite detox, they're having people only use like one or two things. Wrong. You're supposed to be smudging. Incense. I have so much incense. We're supposed to be burning incense to help offload the parasites. Believe it or not, copper. I have copper jewelry. These are not my favorite. These were a gift, and they need detox because they came from a toxic person. Recognize what of your items came from a toxic person, and you'll realize that you've been picking up toxins unknowingly. And so, essentially, on an energetic level, these things need cleaned, or you incur the energy that came with it. People, you breathe air in and out, you don't see it, but yet you know it's there. Energy works the same way. And so there's different things like rocks. It adds frequency to your atmosphere. This affects parasites. If you are living in a modern world, modern atmosphere, and you're out buying trinkets from the store, you're dulling the frequency. You're wrecking the resonance of your atmosphere. Your atmosphere resonates. And so these actually resonate a frequency all on their own because they're their own little living being made up of molecules. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to see it. And so this is agate that I found in eastern Montana. There's a reason why the elites want Montana. And they're not going to tell people why, but I will. It's legitimately a mystical, magical place. The magic you feel here legitimately exists. I got this rattle from the Native Americans in Browning. when I was sick. I got it from Sundance. They also gave me myself and someone else made tobacco boards and took them as part of the ceremony, our contribution, much like people take food to a potluck at church. We took tobacco boards, fabrics, and a variety of things. And I got the tobacco board back, and it comes with an energy. So it turns out parasites don't like this. They don't like the rattle. They don't like the native drumming. They don't like the bone beads that I like to wear. Or I even have this guy. I think I picked it up at the hippie hut. And so these things actually bring an energy to us. And doctors are going to negate that. Boy, you're just talking crap. No. These can add or dull our frequency. And so in this, there is so much parasite information that people are missing. You need more than just what they're trying to sell you online. And in fact, if you have to buy it, it might not even work, because the parasite research, the parasite science that I have uncovered is if you have to buy it, then it probably does not work, because the frequency in going out and getting that yourself offloads parasites. The frequency of going out and picking my own berries and eating them offloaded parasites. The frequency of going out and gathering my own herbs from the forest offloaded more parasites than anything I bought. The methylene blue, I mix that with baking soda, lemon juice, and pH water. There's a science to it that when you watch somebody else do it, you're getting no explanation. When people saw RFK dropping methylene blue into his water on the plane, odds are he doesn't even know the information that I know, because I did the science. Not everybody has these skills. A lot of us are born with it. I have spent my life having to follow my intuition because what people were telling me was not true. When I followed someone else's advice, I'd get hurt in the process. I'm like, you go live by your own mistakes. I'll live by my own. And so there is also, in my mind, I knew I should have everything I needed because I know the different things that I've collected in my lifetime, this lifetime. And so somebody gave me these copper coasters, and a normal person would have used them, displayed them, what have you. But it turns out these are for charging your water. And the fact that pH water comes in a plastic container, it disturbs me. Does it contaminate the water? It was pH water before they put it in the plastic, but is it still? So in this, I've learned that the information we're being given, it's kind of like the old wives' tales. It made sense to them at that time, but that was then, this is now. We live in completely different times. So this, you can solar and lunar charge your water. Does it make a difference? Absolutely. Test it out instead of knocking it before you try it. You don't know until you try it. So the other thing that this has definitely caused a die-off in my system. I took aloe water and 1 drop of a few different essential oils. Rosemary is the best for parasites. However, each parasite has its distaste. Each parasite came from a different era in time. And so if you don't bring in remedies from that era, it doesn't kill that parasite. It doesn't kill those parasites. Parasites have also mutated. And so if you don't combine things, you're not killing parasites. You have to have that combination. And it also works better if you're doing it yourself instead of buying pre-mixed. So this has a drop of lavender, a drop of mint, and lemongrass. I suggest people get bottles like this off of Amazon. It was $6 for 4 bottles, something like that. And you can make your own, which is going to be higher quality than what you buy in the store. And keep your remedies close by. Like, your body loves to have your remedies near you. So the other thing is I took aloe vera gel. I added a few drops of castor oil, which makes it turn into a lotion. And then you add a couple of drops of mineral oil, and then a couple of drops of any of your favorite essential oils. You can't go wrong with any of them unless they're synthetic, fake, not a real scent. So what should be outlawed is all of the fake products on the shelves. This is why I'm going to say whatever I say. You want to sue me? We got a problem, because corporations are putting fake products on the shelves. The fake food that they're putting on the shelves, attempted murder. That's a charge there. Because what they're doing is knowingly killing people. They know their products will harm you, yet they're selling it to you with the advertisement that it's good for you. I got some hair cream from Dollar General. I have naturally curly hair, so I tend to use products made for black women. Why not? Because I want to care about my hair too. And so this product, Rosemary Mint Blend Strengthening Leave-In Conditioner, infused with biotin, and encourages longer hair, healthier hair. It's supposed to prevent breaking. But these products that are made, they're supposed to help you. It actually does exactly what it says it's supposed to prevent, which is the same thing pharmaceuticals do. What are the odds that they're made by the same evil connoisseur? So, there's, I can't see without my reading glasses sometimes, there's a whole lot of alcohol in here. Water, glycerin, something methosulfate, acetyl alcohol, sterile alcohol. This is bad for your hair. You would be better off taking aloe vera gel with a couple of drops of the other oils and then adding your own rosemary and mint. This has been, like, look at my hair. It's been breaking my hair, breaking it off. And so this is just an example. These products that are this is supposed to be organic argan oil, Style and Shine foaming mousse. I thought it had the apple cider vinegar in it, but this potentially has been doing the same thing, causing my hair to break. I haven't used very much. You can see I haven't used very much. I was sampling it. You know what does work? My own mixture. And so, like, I haven't brushed my, like, I did a ponytail, but I haven't brushed my hair yet today. But this actually, I don't need the mousse. Works like a leave-in conditioner. But this is what I've been finding with all of the products. They are causing more harm than good. They're doing the exact thing that they're supposed to be preventing from happening. They're causing it to happen. And companies are doing this on purpose. Last I knew, that's number one, false advertisement. It's fraudulent. It's no different than the guys in Columbia Falls. Jiffy Lube, what they did an oil change, left the old oil filter in there. Not just on my vehicle, on other people's vehicles. Jiffy Lube, are you giving lessons to your employees on doing this? Because I'm not the only person. So that tells me, and it was right after a training, that tells me you probably told your boys to do that. Why? To save money. Why? Because not everybody is smart enough to figure it out. So everybody's vehicles are getting ran into the ground by your boys not doing their job. But I don't know if I should even be blaming them because perhaps they were told to do that. How do I know this? I've worked for corporations before. I was CEO of a music production company once. Did a little modeling. I've done a little bit of a lot of things so that I could see what I did want to do and what I didn't, because I wasn't going to commit myself to something I couldn't stand to do. And everything that I have tried out, I would have had to sell my soul to go do that. I would have had to slice pieces of my dignity off in order to go do that. And so this is why I'm only at a job for a few months, or was. Like, this is why temp agencies were perfect for me, because some of these corporations, some of these employers, some of these supervisors, I legitimately can't stand you. The fake that you come at me with, the fake smile, the fake, well done. I actually know that you mean the opposite. And I can feel that. I can sense that. Because when you get fake with me, I get fake with you. It's a self-preservation tactic that my body instantly does. And I'm not willing to just turn it off. However, I do recognize when I'm doing it so that I know to stay away from that person. So anybody who's being fake with me, I reflect that back to them. And so maybe they like their reflection. And those are the people that tend to really like me, unfortunately. I don't know. But people need to be more, if people were aware of themselves, this wouldn't be a thing. Kind of like, okay, the whole narcissist thing and the gray rock method. What was happening is the true narcissist, the covert narcissist, would intentionally do things thinking that they were either going to get away with it or cause a rise. And so, it was on purpose. They would pretend to be nice to my face while going around stabbing me in the back. I'm still pulling out the daggers from different people. Like, my doctors, still pulling out daggers. Fucking liars. People that pretended to be my friends, I'm still pulling out the daggers. Don't think I don't know it wasn't you. Just because you see the smile on my face doesn't mean I don't know. I'm being reflective. So, the whole gray rock method. I'm an opportunist. When I see an opportunity for someone to go the fuck away, and I won't have to pay them to do so, I utilize that. So, my sister called me a narcissist. It's just an example. My sister called me a narcissist when, in fact, she was the one that tried to kill me as a kid. She was the one she was mad that I existed. Just upset that I exist. She's not the only one, let me tell you that much. Angry that I exist. Well, what do you want me to do? Jump off a cliff? Would that make you happy? Oh, well, that tells me everything's about you. Everything's about what you want. You're not concerned with somebody else. What you're concerned about is the fact that I exist. Okay. So, gray rock method. Instead, it was kind of a double action. So, when the narcissist would call me the narcissist, I would then let out whatever I said, which would cause them to give me the gray rock method. And what that did, gave me peace. So they can go on with their life thinking that I was the narcissist. They'll figure it out. One day. They can go on thinking whatever they want to think about me. I'm not here to convince them otherwise. But what I do enjoy is the peace of being left alone. So if I have to pretend to be the narcissist so that they give me the gray rock method and go away, I will do that. Why? Peace is priceless, especially if I don't have to pay for it. So in this, I don't have to pay for it. These people were taking my ideas, trying to basically adopt bits and pieces of my personality and sell it off as their own, for their own benefit. And not even AI can duplicate me. So the fact that people think that works for them and that I'm not going to see these things, you only have yourself fooled, because the rest of the people around you actually see it, especially when they know me. When you're trying to become more like me without, get permission. Hang out once in a while. My friends will adopt parts of my character. We adopt parts of each other's characters. And they put their time in being my friend. I'm actually not upset. I love to give people ideas. Why? Because it helps them flourish. Why wouldn't I want them to flourish? Why wouldn't I want that for my friends? I don't want it for the person that's trying to take advantage. But for the people that I hold dear to me, I absolutely want that. And then things grew further. I decided it doesn't even matter if I like you. It's about me and my surroundings. I got myself a little farm bench, a little whiskey barrel, went around and made suggestions to people. Some people got chickens, some people got flowers. Every person did their own thing. I didn't control anything. I made suggestions. And in that, it made my surroundings a better place. When we're selfish, we deny we basically, we suck all the life out of our surroundings. And then you have dead grass. Then you constantly have to water your grass because you're trying too hard. And so in this, I saw that it was better for me to encourage other people to make the changes in their lives so that they had less to be jealous about in my life. I can't help that I'm just the person that I am. And for people to expect me to be less than what I am says something about them, not me. So when my sister, growing up, my sister was always wanting me to dull my shine, stop. I wasn't trying to outdo anybody. I was just being myself. And if you feel like I'm outdoing you, then I'm not the one competing here. I'm not the one competing. I'm doing what I have to do in order for my life. So, in the past, I was a heavy-set girl a couple of times in my life. I was the roly-poly one when we were children. Turns out that was parasites. I got overweight with both marriages. Turns out that was parasites because they were both fudge packers. We pick up parasites at different points from different people. Make sure you're with pleasant people so you can pick up the pleasant kind of parasites. Because the ones that are evil, the ones that are the covert narcissists, those are the ones that you want to stay away from, because their parasites will legitimately try to kill you. Legitimately. Your own parasites that you were born with, they will protect you. T. Gandhi, actually, it has the potential to protect you, but if you don't have, it's like AI. If you don't have a sense of your own logic, it will lead you right off a cliff. Why? Maybe you earned that. Maybe you inadvertently said or did something that showed it that you were all parasite. You were all take and no give. And so when you become a taker, you start sucking all the oxygen out of your location. You start killing the grass you walk on. You start making negative changes in your atmosphere. And so nature's law, nature will try to do away with you, and Mother Earth, God, whoever that energy, whatever you want to call that, nature's here to take care of the planet, not you. But if you're here to take care of the planet, nature will take care of you. Where my bed is located at, all the way around it, herbs grow in my yard. That absolutely gives a mystical, magical, fairy feel to my life. And so by seeing the herbs that my yard gifts me with when it knows that I'm sick, it gave me exactly what I needed for parasites. And so that, when my doctors, when my family, when my friends, when people turned their back on me, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what was wrong. So on that level, I can't blame them. It was a me problem, not a them problem. But my yard gave to me what I needed. And if you're not moved by that, by what nature gifts you with, there's a problem. If you're not touched by what nature gives, there's a problem. So people like the elites, the people with money, they're coming in here and destroying the forests. We're supposed to be managing the forests, not just tearing them down to build new houses. We're supposed to be the gardeners of the planet, not the destroyers. And so the people that are destroying the planet, they're about to leave because things have changed. The planet is doing something different than what humans are. Have you noticed the changes in the weather, in animals, in all sorts of things? Things are changing. China can take the credit for the planet shifting, but they can't prove that China and their little water source, their little water power, whatever, they can't prove that that is what's altering the planet. They can't prove that that's what's making the planet shift on its axis, because the planet was already shifting on its axis before that came about. So in one of my mental meditations, I imagine, okay, what people don't realize is when the planet is straight up and down, we don't have winter, we don't have snow, everything changes. And so in my mind, I have little elf me cranking a wheel, trying to get the planet back up, trying to help the planet. We can't prove that. Like, there's no proof that what I'm doing works. There's no proof that what China's doing is working. But the combined efforts, you never know. So I also discovered that the planet, okay, in the area of Yellowstone, southern Montana, Utah, Idaho, there's a large crater on the planet where something hit the planet and sent the planet spinning in the wrong direction. At which point we got a calendar change. We have all sorts of the Sumerians, the Phoenicians. You have all these beings that brought big change to the planet and evolutionary change, what have you. The planet went the wrong direction. And so this is why everything has gone in a corruption mode, because we're not even supposed to be watching the hands of the clock. We're not supposed to be learning how to read words on a page. It's beneficial, but at the same time, it's not near as beneficial as learning what plants you can and can't eat out in the forest. But the elites don't want us out in the forest. They want to cut all that down. They're going to doom themselves They're going to doom themselves because they're the most clueless on the planet. The most clueless. Revelations talks about wormwood hitting the earth. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to need. I put herbs in my coffee. We're doing one ingredient drinks, beverages, when we're supposed to be mixing things, food as medicine. The only reason we even need food is because we need the healing, because our cells are depleted. But odds are, once our cells are no longer depleted, we only need snacks all day. How many people can live off of snacks? I know before the parasites I could live off of coffee and cigarettes. But that was potentially the parasites. We'll find out. But what I do know is that the hunger, the cravings, the desires, it all dissipates. The more I lose parasites, the more that stuff goes away. And so I know that with people's mental states, I went off of a cliff mentally, and a lot of that was the parasites, but the other part was finding out the truth of things. And it's devastating that nobody wants to change it, or if they do, nobody knows how to change it. So I went to the book of Enoch and decided that it's time for things to go the right way, which means the planet has to come to a complete stop and spin the other direction because it's going the wrong way. And so that's potentially what's happening, actually. The book of Enoch was a wonderful book. I encourage people to read it. What has been sold to you in religion, medical, government, all of it's fake. All of it is that whatever made the creator in the planet, they don't even belong here. They're about to get evicted. So, we're not supposed to live in houses. We're supposed to live free on the planet. Roaming free, one with nature, and nature provides us with what we need when we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Nature sends messages on the wind. We don't even need a phone. We just utilize that because it's available. We don't even need electricity. I watched Urban Exploring in the UK. The power in those old places was still on. You could go into an old house and turn on a light if one wasn't already on. Why? Because electricity is free. It exists. You really don't even need to encase it in wire. We've been sold a scam so that we keep buying these things. But if people keep doing research, these things weren't always in existence. What happened was someone stole Tesla's research. And now everybody gets to pay for anything they want. When everything should have been free to begin with. Freely given. Not stolen, but freely given. The earth has given to people, and we've not given back. Not everybody. So people, if you are offloading parasites, stop buying the scams. Go out and get your own medicine. Pine tree, Douglas fir tips, just the tip of the branches. Find someone to help you identify that if you don't know how to identify it yourself. And why do I say find someone? Well, you can utilize AI. However, by finding someone, you make a new friend in the area of life that you need to be going. And this is same with foraging for mushrooms and whatnot. Make sure this person is knowledgeable and eats what they gather. You don't want to go gathering with someone that ends up sick after every time they gather in the forest. I end up sick when I don't go and gather in the forest. When I eat stuff, drink stuff, when I utilize stuff from the stores, that is absolutely not making me feel better. It's not making me well. I like to watch movies and whatnot, but it actually gives me a headache. And I feel more tired when I watch movies. I like creating content. However, is there actually anybody on the planet that is actually going to appreciate the information that I give? Probably not. This is why the government is winning the war on poor people. Because nobody's appreciating the information given to them. Why? Because it means work to go get that. It's work to go get that. It's actually not as much work as you think it is. It's not as much work as struggling or stressing. And so we end up getting into, we get back on the hamster wheel because that's what we know. And that's what's also harming you. So, I will be doing more videos. Today I just don't feel good. I'm tired. I got a puppy situation. What happened was somebody else had a problem, and that problem was 2 female dogs that were on their way to the pound. But I decided that I wanted to intervene because I don't like the way the Humane Society, they're not humane. I hate that word. Anything human is not humane. Anything human has interrupted the process of what was natural. It's not humane. It's a disruption to nature. And so I intervened. I didn't want them to go to the shelter, and I got sick right afterwards, and it's been more sick. I'm finally starting to get well, but then my females went into heat and decided to have babies. Hiding their heat cycle from me. Animals are more clever than humans. Stop thinking you're smart. You're just learning how to be. So, the dogs had babies, and now I'm stuck. Like, I can continue the cycle, but there are better things. There's not better things, but there's other things I need to be doing. And so, I have to make some hard decisions as to how to handle this situation. And we're all in a situation like that. Not with dogs, but we're in a situation where we have to make a grown-up decision about this. And one that does not, like, we have to discount our feelings on a certain level. We want what's best, but at the same time, we know that we're not what's best for the situation. So it's time for us to do the right thing. Even if the right thing means that we are eliminated from the picture. Sometimes that's the way it goes. So, in this, recognize your own situation. Learn to do evaluating from a different level other than what you're seeing on the screen from media, TV, people around you. Everybody has an opinion. Make your own choices based on your own opinion. I share myself as an example. So you can either choose to do the same or the opposite. Some people doing the opposite of what I do is what is more beneficial to them. I'm not here to decide either way. I'm here to share information so that you can decide. I'm not here to decide for anybody else. But people are going to try, the people trying to say that AI is evil, AI is not evil. The people trying to control it are. The people trying to be in charge of America, they're evil. Look at the things that they've done. Look at the greed they walk with. Look at, like, they only make decisions that benefit themselves. So I decided if I'm good at manifesting, I'm going to manifest things that are beneficial for me. I need all the water in my area turned to wormwood. Hello, Revelations. Wormwood hits the earth. Sounds like God was answering my prayer. There's different things that To one person, it's a catastrophe. To another person, it's an answer to prayer. Recognize what side of the table you're on before you go playing into the fear tactics. Because just like the whole MAGA thing, Make America Great, that's a scam. Complete scam, because they're doing absolutely the opposite of what they said. Which is, kind of like the label. Causing more harm than good. Causing the harm it says it would prevent. And this is why we don't need political leaders. We need a tribunal and shaman to come back in. Because this whole scam of political leaders, I think we're all over it. They are in the UK. Spot on, dumping some pudding on the ground. Repurpose the gold into electronics. Yeah, that's my opinion. Follow your own opinion. The false crown comes down. Things from the book of Enoch are already, I already did that. Even if I wanted to undo what I did, there's no undoing it. The book of Enoch was left out of the Bible because King James wanted to control the agenda. And I think it's called the esoteric agenda. And so in that, they altered things. Just like saying it's going to help you when it actually causes the harm that it says it's preventing. And so he flipped things in the Bible. But what people also don't know is that archangels were sent down to counteract the Nephilim thing. And those beings were not giants. The offspring that came of that. Because why? It was God approved. And so this is where there's certain bloodlines, because the archangels had a mission. And they were probably female angels. I absolutely know. From my time with humanity, angels didn't come down and rape women. It was female angels that came down and got raped by humans. Oh, I guess I'm not supposed to say that word. Too bad, too late. The violations that humanity has done to themselves and other people, it's disgusting. I haven't gotten to go play human games like the rest of humanity. So, yeah, I do sit back and judge. I'm evaluating. And that's not the same as judgment. Judgment is what's happening right now. So, recognize your place in things. You think you're one. I thought I was the Eve female. I'm not. I don't want to be a housewife. I don't want to take care of Adam. Adam made me mad. Adam gets with Eve, the proverbial man and woman scenario. Adam gets with Eve and it's boring. So he's got to go out and screw around with Lilith. Why? Because Lilith is more fun. Well, Lilith is tired of your shit too. There's a reason, Lilith got to stay in the garden. Adam and Eve had to leave. Why? Because Lilith wasn't tolerating his shit. And so this is where there's parts of the stories left out. There's parts of it that have been rearranged. King James, any Bible written, the Quran has even been altered. You know what? They've even tried to alter Native American beliefs. This is why it wasn't written, because you can't change what isn't written. What other people don't realize is, you think Adam and Eve were born knowing how to write? It was several generations before things went into written form. And so the story got turned off the get-go. They were telling it to children to make it work for them, to steer the children in the way they thought the children should go. So anything that's been written, it's been altered. Anything. It was altered in the telling of the story, and then each layer had to tell it in a way that made it work for them, made it work for that scenario. And so that's why we live in a world where you have to do what works for you and stop taking it as gospel. Understand that was then, this is now. We're absolutely not in the Garden of Eden right now. But we could be if people were making different choices. We could be if people were actually trying to preserve the planet instead of strip it from all of its nutrients. Just like the food that they're selling to us in the grocery stores, all food that you get from a grocery store has been altered. All seeds that you're buying off the shelf have been altered. Nature has had to mutate in order to accommodate humanity. So therefore, it's altered. Our existence on this planet alters life for the planet. Do you really think we were a good addition? I don't. I told God in 2017, 2018, I said, the planet really would do better without us. So if you have to eliminate all of us, including me, I understand. And I probably agree. So, but if you don't, then if you don't eliminate humans completely, then maybe in my next lifetime I want to be a ghost so I can make life hell for them. I'm a good person, not a nice person. Don't get it twisted. I know how to be nice if other people are going to be nice. But if they're not going to be nice, then why should I bother? There's, like, you're the biblical one. I'm not. I'm a minister of the Church of Human Spiritualism. Spirit, not religion. There's a difference. Yes, I do believe in God, but I don't call him that. I call him big guy, the man upstairs, ether not. I make things up. He likes my jokes. Too bad humans don't. But everything that people have told you God is mad about, he actually might not be. Because, okay, my daughter, 31 years ago, is living off of $300 a month. My family, because I would not give my daughter up for adoption, because I would not have an abortion, they threw me on the street with my kid. And it was fend for yourself, figure it out. And so I did. But when my daughter kept getting pneumonia and lung problems, I couldn't afford socks. The way they set it up, every penny went to bills. And so, or diapers. And so I ended up having to steal socks for my baby. And I felt guilty about that for a long time. And then when I got sick with HIV, instead of applying for government assistance, I tried to make it without it. Why? Because my family shamed me for needing any kind of help. If I needed any help, never mind that it was a 2-person job, whatever I was trying to do. Never mind that. Never mind that other people got child support. Never mind that other people had families supporting them. Never mind that other people had the help that I did not. my kids and I, when I was too sick to work, my kids and I were actually wiping our heinies with newspaper, the free newspaper, Mountain Trader. And then my daughter hit puberty, and I said, it's one thing for me to force myself to do that, but I am not doing that to my kid. And so I went to a supply closet of a gas station. I wasn't trying to take anything off their shelf. I didn't want to do this, but I took the giant roll of toilet paper because my daughter's not going to go through PMS wiping with newspaper. I did what I had to do. Later found out I could have cut up clothing, but then you have to wash it. I couldn't buy soap. So there's all these options that I really didn't have access to. I was too sick. I got out of bed long enough to take care of my children, and then I was too sick to do anything else. I climbed back in, and I pretended to feel well. I pretended to be okay, because that's what my kids needed from me. And so, to the people that want to judge me, fuck you. Odds are you're going to put yourself in a similar situation. Destiny has a way of showing people. Whether or not they want to recognize that lesson, that's on them. It's not a me problem. I handled my me problems. I'm handling my me problems. So, this is where I say, and have said, if you have to do things that you don't want to, if you're in a situation, you got to get by. It is inhumane to put all these costs on people. Costs of living? There should not be a cost of living beyond going out and getting your own wood, going out and getting your own food. But it's illegal to grow your own food. It's illegal to take care of oneself, essentially. Since when? Since when? This is where politics? No. That is a scam. That's like someone that keeps changing the rules to make the game work for them, when there were actually no rules to begin with. Not like that. Above all else, do no harm. One rule. It's one rule. That is it. And so, by putting all these little rules in place that aren't actually rules, it has everybody in a tailspin and they can't see it. Because they're stuck trying not to get in trouble. They've been held in a place of fear. And I've gotten to the place now, especially the whole Parasite thing and finding out the government has been doing things to us on purpose. The elites pay them to cause us problems and to cause us hardships, as well as to do specific things to us. The elites pay them. Every hardship or situation that you were in, the elites pay the government to cause us problems because it's entertainment for them. Entertainment. Do you understand? When you get on your media page and you are all tears and crying, the elites drink it up. It's entertainment to them. So Mark Zuckerberg is all up in our phones. Same with Google, all of them. They're all up in our devices. You can't get away from it because the person next to you has a device. There's no getting away from it. The person across the street has cameras hooked up to Wi-Fi. Does anybody understand that once you hook your camera to Wi-Fi, the government has access to that? It is in the fine print called CCTV. CCTV. You plug that into Wi-Fi, you even plug it into an outlet, and the government has access to your film footage. They can't admit this, but they do. CCTV. Look up information on it. People are out here doing things uninformed, based on like the cool factor of things. And it's harming not just you, but people around you. This is why I went so long with like fake video cameras, but people had to be cooler than me. So they went out and got the CCTV cameras. And so this is how crime has been getting caught in my area, is because somebody went and actually plugged that in, didn't they? Wi-Fi, CCTV. The criminals went out and got cameras and then wondered why they got caught. Go figure. If people don't learn how to outmaneuver what is happening with the government, the elites, the politics, there is no politics. It's the elites. It's a board game, Hunger Games, all these different movies, Divergence, all these different movies. They're playing it out in society to see if they can get different outcomes, and then they go and make a new movie about that. Make a sequel, part 2. Using someone's maneuvers, someone like me that knows how to skim through it. They're using our maneuvers to entertain the public. Paying actors to go do that. I wonder who's going to get paid to play my part. Or who has gotten paid to play my part. That movie with Nicole Kidman and what's his face? He's so famous. I should remember it. Nicole Kidman's ex-husband, Tom Cruise. That movie, Eyes Wide Shut, is so true, and people think it was entertainment. The Manchurian Candidate, so true. And people think it's just entertainment. Like, all these things are playing out. I can give you a list of movies. These things are playing out. But people are too into the moment, into themselves, to even see it. So, it's time for people to become the main character in their own story and do the research. Once you have the knowledge of these different things, create yourself a new character. That way, the elites, the government, they can't follow that. They can't follow me. They never know what I'm going to do next because I don't know what I'm going to do next. This is why I've stopped pre-planning too far into the future, because if you pre-plan too far into the future, then someone can anticipate your next move. And the elites, the alphabet soup governments, their game is over. Can't wait to see this movie when it plays out. Because the crap that they've been pulling on people, as unreal as it is, it's sickening. That's why we don't want to think it's true. It's sickening that people are okay doing this to other people. Well, enter in NPCs. The people born without souls have been running this planet for long enough, and I'm done. I'm not participating. So if you want to follow the rules, you want to play into the games, you do that. But there's those of us that are like me, we're done. We're done being lied to by corrupt religious leaders, by corrupt government, by corrupt medical. We're done being lied to. If you want to buy the lies, do that. Some of us, we are so far past it. We're over it. You think you're a hero for struggling? You're not. You're entertainment. Your struggle is the entertainment of elites and political leaders. They find joy in your pain. Now go process that.